Welcome back, you guys. Today I will be putting together a collection of my recommended puzzles. It's one of the most common questions I get asked all the time. And while I don't know everything about all the puzzles, I do talk to a lot of people and I get a lot of feedback about what puzzles people like and prefer. For each of these, I'll be choosing one that's a budget version, and I'll be choosing one that is the best version. Now, this doesn't mean that there's not other cubes that make sense to buy. There's not other good cubes. There's other good cubes out there, but I'm going to be breaking down all of the options to two. The two that I think will make most people who are going for the best version happy. Not everyone, but the most. And same thing for budget. Let's hop right into it with 2x2s. For 2x2, we have the budget puzzle that I typically recommend, which is the RS2M. Let's see if we can get a close-up there. I'm not sure if that's lined up good. But anyways, the RS2M is great. It's magnetic. It's adjustable, pretty easy to set up, comes pretty good out of the box, and coming in at only $10, it's honestly a steal for how good it is. I recommend this to a lot of people, and a lot of people are happy with it. I myself made one at one point. And then for the best version, I recommend the GAN 251M Pro. The GAN 251M Pro is $33, and which is a significant step up from the RS2M. But the GAN 251M Pro, many of you already know, is actually kind of the mid tier of the GAN 2x2s, because you have the GAN Air below it, and then you have another puzzle even below that. But then you also have the Leap and the Leap UV version that are more expensive than the Pro, but the extra features are usually considered to be fairly redundant or not worth it, and so that is why I recommend the GAN 251M Pro. It does have bulk work. Next up, for 3x3, we'll just go in order on the end by ends here. So for the 3x3 budget 3x3, I recommend the RS3M V5 dual adjustment. Now, the single adjustment is $1 cheaper, coming in at $9, but I do recommend the $10 version because I personally think that the dual adjustment is worth the extra dollar. For a magnetic 3x3 that's easy to set up, comes pretty good out of the box, this cube is an incredible deal. And then for the 3x3 the best 3x3, this is the least decisive puzzle out of all of them here. There's many answers to this, but the most common thing that I see people choose and are happy with is the Tornado V4 Pioneer. The Tornado V4 Pioneer is $50, and it has all the fancy features. And while the flagship version is good too, I do tend to see slightly more people aiming for the Pioneer version when they're trying to get the best puzzle, and this is what I've seen a lot of people most happy with. And on to 4x4. 4x4 too has a couple of options, but I think currently what's dominating the market in popularity too is the new Moyu 4x4s. So first up, we have, for the budget 4x4, we have the Aosu V7. This is just the single track, non-UV version. I believe it is, let me check for you guys really quick here. This cube is, okay, that's what I was thinking. So the single track is $20, and it's magnetic, super competitive cube. I'll personally get one of these. I need to get a new 4x4 still. And yeah, it's magnetic, works great. Pretty much everything you could ask for in a 4x4. Technically, there are some options that are cheaper, but I think this is the best balance of cheap and something that's usable that I've seen. And then for the best 4x4, we have the Aosu V7 double track. There is a triple track that's more expensive, but the double track UV tends to be slightly more favored, especially at a slightly lesser price. And again, best, we're still considering price a little bit, just what's going to make the most people happy, right? And this cube is $46, which is a significant step up, but it does have more features if you're looking to get something super competitive. And on to 5x5. In similar fashion with 5x5, let me make sure I have these pulled up here. 5x5 plus. In similar fashion with 5x5, we have the Aoshwang V6 5x5. The Aoshwang V6, this is the single track non-UV version. This comes in at $23. And it's going to be same thing as the Alceu V7, the 4x4 we just talked about. Good for the price. Technically, there's cheaper options, but I think this is the best balance of budget and something that's super nice that you can get. And then on to the best version of the 5x5. And again, 5x5, there's also like the GAN 5x5. There's just some other options for 5x5 as well. But currently, the best balance of popularity, what people like, in my experience, is the Auschwing V6 double track, UV, of course. This cube is similar to the Moyu 4x4's lineup, and it just has a lot more features. And again, there is a triple track option, though the double track, in my experience, is more popular and more favored for the price. And so that is a lot of the main N/Ns. We're going to speed through 6 and 7. And I am going to recommend for 6x6, the best budget version in my experience has been the Moyu Meilong V2 6x6. It's magnetic. It's $18, which for a 6x6 really isn't bad. And it's super usable. It's great for beginners. Technically, there's cheaper options, but for the price, this is what I recommend basically 100% of the time for a budget cube. And as for a nice 6x6, technically there are better 6x6s when you go up in price. Though for this video, I will say that the Meilong V2 6x6 is still what I tend to recommend when somebody's going for a nicer 6x6, as getting a really nice 6x6 is just such a massive jump in price, and I think there's still some room for 6x6 and 7x7 technology to improve. And in similar fashion, for 7x7, we have the Meilong V2 7x7. The only difference here is that it comes in at, I think, $20 versus $18. So it's $2 more for the 7x7, magnetic. I recommend this for budget and for most people who are going for a nice 7x7 as well. Obviously, there's better options too, but for the price, I think this tends to be what makes most people the most happy. And that is all of the N/Ns for today. Now we will be on to, let's do Skewb next. Normally I wouldn't start with Skewb, but today we will. Let's see, for the budget Skewb, we have the Moyu RS Skewb, magnetic Skewb, $10 retail. Similar to the RS2M in my opinion. Great cube, good price, magnetic. And again, technically cheaper options, but I think this is the best balance of budget and quality. And then for the nice Skewb, we have the GAN Skewb M Enhanced version. I didn't choose the UV version. I know some people prefer UV, some people don't. I just chose the plain GAN Skewb M Enhanced. That's what most people, in my experience talking to people, enjoy, what most people prefer. So that's what I recommend for going for a best Skewb. Let's see, let's tackle Megaminx next. Budget Megaminx has there's some back and forth in what people prefer. Right now I just stick to the YJ Yuhu V2 still. It's been around for, I think, a second, but a lot of people are super happy with it. I think it's like, what is it, like $15 or so? Let's check here for you guys really quick. Oh, I forgot to say this Skewb. This one's $10. This one's, I think, $33. Let me check so I don't tell you guys the wrong price. That would be kind of embarrassing. Oh, $32. Oh, even better than I thought. And then Megaminx, we have the... Should have made a list beforehand, you guys. That's my bad. The YJ, oh, it's not 15. So the YJ Yuhu is actually 14 retail right now. Magnetic, again, has all of the base things you could ask for in a puzzle. And a lot of people tend to be really happy with it. So that's what I recommend for a budget but good Megaminx. And then for the best Megaminx, I recommend the Diane Pro. The Diane Pro is one of the best Megaminxes. There's also a GAN Megaminx that some people prefer, but that's significantly more expensive. And the Diane Pro, in my experience, is what makes people the most happy in terms of maximizing price and usability when going for a nice or a flagship cube. So that's what I tend to recommend. And then that is Megaminx. So this one is, oh yeah, this one's $37. And then for Pyraminx budget, there's a couple good options. I do like the Moyu RS Pyraminx a little bit too, but I tend to recommend the Yushin Little Magic Pyraminx. The Yushin Little Magic is a little bit, there's good things and bad things about it. I know the quality control on it isn't perfect, but also I do really like the tips. It's what I used for quite a while. I got my first podium in the competition with the Yushin Little Magic Pyraminx, and I think it's still a relevant puzzle at only $9, which is honestly pretty good. And then we have the Weilong Pyraminx. This is the maglev version. I actually recommend I recommend just the magnetic version, not maglev. I don't think the maglev provides any benefit on the puzzle. This is just, I'm just out of stock on the other ones, so wait. Oh, that's okay. I'm just out of stock on the normal Weilongs, so I grabbed this to show you guys, but I do recommend the normal Weilong Pyraminx. And the normal Weilong Pyraminx is, how much does it cost you guys? It's $15 retail on my site right now. By the time this video's out, actually, no, I won't have them in stock for a couple days after this video's out. But if you're interested in one, keep an eye out. Those are great. And that's, actually, wait, that's not what currently I use a modded RS, but that's out of the picture. But I did use a Weilong for a good while. And then on to Clock. Clock, there's still really two main options. For budget, you have the Shengshao Clock. The Shengshao Clock is going to be $11 retail. Cheap puzzle, works about how you'd expect for the price. Not like an amazing puzzle, but it works. And it's what I recommend at a budget level. And then better than that, you have the Chi Clock. The Chi Clock's been the standard for a while. There's some newer versions like the Lilac version and the Blue version, among others. Those are arguably even better, but in general, I just recommend a Chi Clock, whichever one you'd prefer. The Chi Clock is going to be, they come in at $33. So 3 times the price of the Shengshao Clock, but much, much nicer. And on to Square One. Okay, for Square One budget, I recommend the Yushin Little Magic Square One. I don't have a ton of experience with Square One, but this is, in my experience so far, what people tend to enjoy for the price at a budget level. Is magnetic. I think it's around $11, maybe 10 even. What do you guys? Oh, it's 11. Okay, nice. So yeah, $11 gets the job done, works. I used one of these before I got too much into Square One, and then I went down the rabbit hole for a week, and I bought the better version that I recommend, which is the YJ-MGC Square One. It's hard to compete with this. This is basically the best Square One on the market right now. It's $20 retail. So for double the price for the going from budget to best isn't that huge of a gap relative to some other puzzles. So I oftentimes recommend just going straight for the YJ-MGC Square One if you're thinking about getting one. Because again, $20 and you won't have to worry about upgrading anytime soon, at least until more hardware is announced. I recommend that. And then on to our favorite category, FTO. For FTOs, the budget FTO I recommend is the Chi non-magnetic FTO, actually. The magnetic one, the price increases quite a bit, so it gets close to the price of the better puzzle that I recommend. But if you're just looking to get into FTO, don't want something that's going to pop too much, just want to learn how to solve it, see if you like it, then I recommend the standard non-magnetic Chi FTO. Puzzle gets the job done just fine. And then for the best FTO on the market right now is definitely the, oh wait, this cube is, let me check for you guys. I can't leave you guys hanging on these prices. Hopefully I haven't missed any so far. The Chi FTO standard is $15 retail right now. Good price for a really fun event. And the Diane FTO, it's magnetic. Corner cutting's way improved. No popping issues. Very solid puzzle. $30 retail. I love solving on my Diane. I'm not sure there's much more to say. If you're going to get a puzzle, I highly recommend this. And that concludes all of the main puzzle categories for standard events. Now we have a couple bonus categories. So we'll have timers. For timers, I recommend the Chi Yi timer, just standard for the budget timer. Also, I know the Moyu, I think Moyu released the timer recently that works pretty well too. But I tend to recommend this. It's 15 bucks, I believe, and lets you start timing yourself. And then for the better timer, I recommend the new Zeal timer. The new Zeal timer does have a battery, so it's going to need to be recharged, which can be a pain in some circumstances, but I really, really enjoy it for traveling because, again, this is the timer that has the scrambles. It has 2, 3, 4, 5x5, Pyraminx, no Megaminx, but as Square One, Clock, Skewb, and maybe something else that I'm forgetting. But it has all the scrambles on there. You can see your averages. It's super nice for bringing along to competitions and such, where it might be a pain to set up a computer, but you still want to use scrambles and you still want to see your average. And let's face it, sometimes using your phone to practice before competing just doesn't quite cut it. So this is $30. Is that upside down? Oh, there we go. $30. This is what I use personally. Love them. Those are a new release. And then after that, we have the fun category. So first off, let me get prices. Okay, the first fun puzzle that I recommend is the Chi Yi Big 3x3. This cube is 18.8 centimeters, pretty massive, just over 3 times the height, width, or length of a normal 3x3. Super fun to solve, good decoration even, fun for challenges and all that sort of things, or just to show friends and stuff. These are $50. I enjoy it. This is mine. And so that is the first of that category that I recommend. And we have a couple more here. The next fun puzzle that I recommend is the banana puzzle. Banana cube is a 2x2x3 shape mod. I believe this is $7. Yeah, $7 retail for a fun shape mod that definitely brings a lot of laughs. This is definitely a favorite. And then after that, we have the Moyu. Actually, I don't even say specific ones, but just mirror cubes. There's a lot of new magnetic mirror cubes that are great. I think having a mirror cube is a staple in every collection. And there's a lot of good new magnetic ones right around that $10 range, which is amazing for getting into a fun puzzle. And then we have the Function Brick Cube. It's compatible with other like bricks. It doesn't turn amazing, but it's kind of a fun gag to have in your collection. I got one for, I think, Christmas or my birthday a few years back. And it's not a puzzle I play with a lot, but it's definitely a fun collection piece and just kind of a fun gag to have. And then finally, I would recommend the 1 centimeter Cube Lab 3x3. This 3x3 functions surprisingly well. And is, the Function Brick Cube I think is $10. And this cube is, I think, $9, $8 or $9. And yeah, functions pretty well. Unless you're gonna lose it, I recommend getting them. They do get lost really easily. But other than that, they're fun to play with, fun to mess around with, especially if you have a big cube too. You can do races, big versus small. And that is everything I recommend. Thank you guys for watching. I'll link to canyonscubes.com down below. Feel free to go check out all these puzzles. If you have questions, leave a comment, or feel free to join the Canyons Cubes Discord. I'll leave a link, I think, down there somewhere. That's a good place to ask questions and just be a part of the community as well. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.